The next part of this lesson is truly out of this world. Be prepared to thank gravity for its existence and hold on to your seats as we learn all about nebulas. Nebulas are clouds of dust, gas, and plasma, which is a fourth state of matter that can be described as charged gas. They are formed from a nearby exploding star, called a supernova, or through clouds of dust and interstellar gas. All of the dust and particles attract each other like magnets and form clumps to create a nebula. These nebulae serve as the kind of nursery for stars, so basically the stars form and grow up in the center of the nebula. How cool, right? Around 4.5 billion years ago, long before you and I were even born, the solar system that we're currently living and breathing in was created from a cloud of dust and gas. Due to an explosive dying star, or a supernova, the cloud began to collapse and formed what is called the Solar Nebula. Because of gravity, all of the particles moved to the center, which resulted in a lot of pressure. Because of all this pressure, hydrogen particles combined to form helium. The reaction of hydrogen becoming helium released so much energy as heat and light that the sun was made. Work did not stop there, however. Gravity caused a bunch of particles to continue to clump together and form all kinds of objects, such as planets and moons and asteroids and comets. It is because of nebulae that we have all the stars we wish upon, the sun we wake up to in the morning, the moon we see at night, and the planet Earth we live on. Now that your mind has been properly exploded, just like in a supernova, we're going to start the interactive part of this lesson. We will be making a small-scale replica of a nebula. Some materials you'll need to make this nebula replica are a jar or an empty plastic water bottle, around 25 to 30 cotton balls or cotton pads, a spoon, 3 empty paper cups, 3 different colors of paint or food coloring, water, and if you want your nebula replica to be extra funky, some glitter. It's time to start building. Woohoo! The first step is to fill the 3 small cups with water, about 2/3 of the way each. Make sure not to spill. Then add 1 to 3 drops of paint or food coloring into each cup of water and mix each cup with a spoon. If you're using a jar, spread the cotton balls out to stretch them out. If you're using a water bottle, you can skip this step and leave the cotton balls round. After this, line the cotton balls about 1/3 of the way of the jar or bottle. These cotton balls represent the dust component of the nebulae. Then pour 1 cup of colored water until the top of the cotton balls are soaked. The colored water represents the gas part of the nebula. Next, line the jar 1/3 more of the way on top of the first layer with even more cotton balls. Pour 1 cup of the colored water into the jar until the top of the cotton balls are soaked again. Y'all are doing great, almost done. Then line the jar 1/3 of the way on top of the middle layer with more cotton balls to make the last layer. Finally, pour the very last cup of colored water into the jar until the top of the cotton balls are soaked. Now's the time to add glitter to the top if you'd like. The glitter represents the stars that form from the nebula. You now have a completed nebula replica. Yay! Admire it, love it, and go show it to your family and friends. Think about all the components of your model and try to remember what represents the dust, gas, and emerging stars in a nebula. With that, this astronomical lesson is concluded. Take a minute and think about something new you've learned or the most interesting fact that was shared in this lesson. After you've done that, share what you would name a newly discovered planet that needed a name. Be creative and make it a fun one. Thank you very much for participating in this lesson. To infinity and beyond, Beamers.